Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to our first virtual group time. I know it looks a little different than what you're used to because I'm sitting on this comfy couch instead of a floor or a hard chair. Hopefully you are also in a comfortable spot where you can listen. These group times are going to look different, of course, because they're recorded and I'm not seeing your faces, so I can't ask you questions. But I'm going to do my best to keep it entertaining and also not quite as lengthy as when we're in person. So, one of the things I want to start doing though, and this is a good idea for sort of self-reflection in this time and in general, we had done some goal setting and things that I'm doing well, things I want to get better at. And one of the other ways to self-reflect is just check in with yourself about how you're feeling. So, meaning I'm recognizing that this teaching online is a new thing for both Miss Klinenberg and I. And so I am feeling a little bit nervous maybe, and also excited. So I'm nervous that things aren't going to run smoothly when we start video conferences, but I am also feeling excited because I think there are going to be a lot of new ways to learn that you guys are going to enjoy. Things that we don't normally do in the classroom just because we don't have access to the internet. So I'm excited for you guys to get to explore those. So one of the things that is going to be really important during this time is to try to keep a positive attitude. I know sometimes it can be hard when you're trapped, you sort of feel trapped in your house all day, and we can't see each other anymore, and that makes a difference. So what I'm personally trying to do, and I want you guys to try as well, is to focus on the things you can do. And I realize now that that looks backwards to you, so I'm not going to write on the board. My camera is flipped, so yeah, that's not going to make sense. But focus on the things you can do that maybe you couldn't do before when you were in school all day. So I made actually a list of this for myself, and to sort of give you guys an idea of what Ms. K and I are asking you to do. You know, you can make your list in your head, but it might be a good idea to maybe write this down somewhere. It can be in your journal, it can be in a little notebook, it can just be on a piece of paper. We're not asking you to turn it in. We just want you guys to have some ideas of some things that you can do now that we have, you know, some time that we're not in school. I mean, we are in school, but not physically in school. So, one of my biggest goals actually, because I realize that for myself it really actually helps my brain stay in a good space, is to get out some energy in the form of exercising. When I moved to Wisconsin, it was sort of cold and icky, and I was trapped in my house a lot. Even though I was teaching, I pretty much left the house to go to school and came home and then hid in my house because it was freezing. So one of my goals since I'm back in California, and especially now that I have a little bit more flexibility with my schedule, is to exercise. So I am hoping to incorporate different kinds of exercise as well as increase the amount that I can run without sort of getting tired. So yesterday I did do a little jog, and today I actually tried for the first time a yoga video. And in an email to your parents later today, I am going to put actually a link to some free yoga videos. These ones are meant for adults, but I totally think you guys can do it. You have experience with Miss Amy, and if a parent wants to join you, you could. As I find other free things and videos for kids, I will share those specifically. And if you guys have any that you're doing at home that you really like, feel free to share. That's sort of what Google Classroom is for. It's a way for you guys to stay connected and post and share with each other if there's something that you found that you like doing. So Exercise is goal number 1. That really helps me get some energy out. I tend to be a sort of wiggly person, and getting energy out physically helps my brain work better. The next thing I'm hoping to do is do a little more word board gamey things. So Scrabble is my absolute favorite game. You guys might have seen my Scrabble mug, and I have a travel Scrabble and a big Scrabble. Virtually, I can play words with friends. That way I can do it with my family who's in Palm Springs, some friends that are far away. So I want to incorporate some word games into my day. Next, I've got on my list as far as goals is letter writing, which is sort of something a lot of people don't do anymore, is write letters to friends and family. And I think that can really brighten someone's day. It can fill someone's bucket. And not only that, is here's the thing. When I write a letter to my grandma or my friend that lives in a different part of LA or a teaching friend that I have in Wisconsin, it's meant to fill their bucket, but as I'm writing it, I feel my bucket get full. So I know when they get the letter, they're going to be happy. It's fun to get mail. So it feels good to me. So I'm filling my own bucket actually by doing that. So my goal is to write more cards to my friends. Now it doesn't have to be a super long letter, you guys. Like I have these little mini note cards. So this is a notebook where I'm writing more ideas. So a mini note card, probably about half the size of this. It does not have to be long. Where I write a couple sentences and send it to a friend. I will show you maybe a sample of one of those next time. Okay, just 2 more things on my list. Something else that I really used to enjoy and then I go in and out of phases with it is cooking. I guess I've sort of been on the outs because I feel like I haven't had a lot of time lately to put into cooking new things, but I want to try new experiments and also get into some old recipes that I haven't cooked in a while. This is a little tricky because, as you guys have probably seen if you've gone with your parents to the grocery store, things are pretty picked over. So when I go, if I want to buy chicken, most of the times I've gone, there's no chicken. So I have to be flexible. I sort of buy what they have, and it's a good challenge for me as a cook. I feel pretty comfortable in the kitchen to take the ingredients I have and try to make something new. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll say I have chicken and carrots and Brussels sprouts, and maybe I have some Greek yogurt I want to use up. I'll just type those ingredients into Google and see if anyone else has done a recipe with them. That's one way I do it. So I would invite you guys actually, if you enjoy cooking, and I think most of you do, to help your parents with some meal prepping. Make your own breakfast if you can. Help with dinner, wash the vegetables, chop the vegetables. See what you can do to help meals go better. And last thing, and this I will be honest with you guys, most of the other things on my goal list are things I already like and would like to do more of. This last thing, not really my favorite, and that is organizing. You've seen our desk. At the end of the day, it gets pretty cluttered. I just sort of toss things there and answer your questions, and keeping the desk organized isn't super high on my priority list, but I want to be more organized in my house, and mostly what that is my clothes. I have a lot. I have a lot of books, but these are books I want to keep. I brought them with me from Wisconsin, so I'm not ready to get rid of those yet. But all of my closets are sort of overspilling with clothes and other items. So it looks neat on the outside, but really I'm just hiding it because I can shut the cabinet and nobody really knows it's messy. So that last thing on my to-do list is organizing, and that's the thing I'm not really excited about. So what I will try to do for that is do a little bit each day. That's a really good thing to do if you have something you don't like, is start small. Don't say I'm going to organize every single drawer in my bedroom if it's not what you like. Start with just one drawer. So that's what I have as far as things I can do just to focus on some positive in this time. So what I want to challenge you guys to do is to focus on what you can, and write a list somewhere in your journal, in a little notebook. I happen to put mine in my planner. It's called the Self Planner, but I also have this little notebook. I have another little notebook for lesson plans. So write it somewhere where it makes sense for you, and maybe when we do a class hangout, we can share ideas. And this week's feature composer, give me just 1 second. Actually, you guys could be finding a spot for music as I search for who the feature composer is. So find a spot for music. You can show your parents and your families how we do this. You just relax and listen. Let's see. This week's feature composer is Johann Sebastian Bach. The feature composition is the third movement of Brandenburg Concerto No. 2. The second Brandenburg Concerto features 4 instruments: trumpet, oboe, violin, and recorder. Composing for this combination of instruments was a challenge for Bach because they are all high-pitched instruments. Sometimes Bach combines just the trumpet and oboe, sometimes the violin and recorder, and sometimes all 4 play together. He played with the different timbres: the bold trumpet, the perky oboe, the delicate recorder, and the elegant violin. And don't forget, before you start your day, to say our mantra, which is, today is going to be a good day. I can and I will. See you tomorrow.